Hello and welcome to my channel, Perfect Pastimes. My name's Amanda, my friends call me Amo, and I live in Dorset in the southwest of England with my husband and my 3 dogs. And as usual, Willow's there. She's never far from me, so all the moans and groans you hear are from her. So how have you all been? The weather today is a good old West Country mizzle going on out there. It's quite a heavy mist, but it's not rain. Mizzle is a word that describes it absolutely perfectly. I believe further up north in the country, in Scotland, Northern Ireland, you're getting Storm Dave. We've just got the grey aftermath after, you know, the bottom end of it. A little bit of wind. But I hope you all stay safe and it passes you by without too much damage if you're in his path. We've got to love the spring weather, haven't we? Okay, that's the UK weather forecast over and done with. Right, what have I been up to this week? I've got a little bit further along with some knitting and crochet and not too much else, a bit of planning going on. I did do a pub quiz with my friends in the week on Wednesday and we won, which was very nice. My friend is amazed I managed to answer some strange questions like who is the patron saint of Dorset and when is their saint's feast day, which is St White on the 1st of June, in case you're wondering what it is exactly. But I like an obscure fact, but I do have a flagpole and I do like flying my flags, and I do put one up on the 1st of June and for the week after for the Dorset week. I did manage to get out for a game of golf on Thursday when the sun thing came out in the sky, and it was lovely and I played pretty well. I managed to get all the way round without feeling too exhausted, which is the first time this year. I'm hoping to keep going a bit more. Hopefully the weather will pick up a bit more. It always comes down to the weather, doesn't it? I hope you're all getting out and about when you can, seeing some beautiful bluebells. Gwen and I haven't managed to do any of our longer walks really yet. We've done a few short ones, but nothing spectacular. We have been seeing the bluebells, but I think they'll be coming into their own next week and possibly the week after, especially if the sun comes out. Okay, right. In my knitting this week, I have I've moved along a little bit with my Calliope. I was up to just before the divide for the sleeves last time. Did I put a progress keeper in? Yes, I did. I was there just before the divide for the sleeves. Well, I have divided, that's the back because it's got a stitch marker in it. And I am going down the body. This is so soft. I'm about 2.5, 3 inches down the body now. And this is in the yarn for the sole hanks I bought in Warminster. Yarn for the sole is in Warminster. I did get it right last time. I bought them a couple of years ago, but I only bought 3. She only had 3 in this Seascape colourway, which is, I have spoken about it several times. This one, and it's the one I'm going to hold with the grey I got from Unravel last month. No, February, 2 months ago. Should I not have enough to finish the full-length sweater and sleeves. But it's knitting up beautifully. I haven't quite come to the end of the first skein yet. So it'll be an interesting marker to see how much yarn a sweater for my size takes. But there's the lovely yoke. I did this in my Advent from Blue Fern Yarns at the beginning of 25, from the 24 Advent. So that is on the minder stage of round and round and round, which I quite enjoy doing, especially when I'm not feeling too clever. Sometimes the one amoebic brain cell really has a bad day and sits with my Menno brain, and they have a squabble in the back while I just get on with some round and round knitting. So that is beautiful. I'm nearly at the end of my first skein, so soon I will start helical knitting so I don't get a jog between the two skeins. And the mohair, Kid Silk mohair, Kid Silk Haze, I am holding with it, should help with that blending anyway. So that is getting on slowly in the background. But as you can see over my shoulder, Clarice is currently wearing what I have been working on more often than not at the moment. And this is my Baron Doohan slipover. It is by Fibre and Fox, and I haven't got the pattern to hand. Here we go. No, it's all going to fall apart on me now. There's Baron Doohan slipover by Fox and Folk. There we go. I will put all the details, of course, down below in the description box for you. Any links, anything I talk about, and I remember, I will put in the description box. So this is a slipover with a drawstring waistline, or there is a rib option, worsted weight yarn, which I am using the Svarta Faret Ulrika Nature pure wool from Sweden in colour 327007, which is linden. And it's a lovely, you can see the colour difference. It's so difficult to get camera colour correct. It's a lovely soft mossy green. So I did get to the top of the shoulder, and I have just increased for the back neck, and I'm about to come all the way down the back. I have got her pin, I have got it pinned on Clarice, but only in a couple of places. It is what Clarice was made for, pinning garments on, but she's a rather old lady and she's a little bit fragile, so I don't really like putting pins in her too much. But I hope you can see, the lovely travelling slip stitch that goes, oh, it's like a little cable stitch, it's not a slip stitch really, and the lobster claw cable that goes up each side, and up the middle and on the edges is an I-cord, and that is split there, and then that will carry on. I'll pick it up at they're on hold in the stitch markers at the moment, and I'll pick that up and carry on around at the end. I can do that channel for the waist tie at the bottom, or the come on brain, come on brain, come on brain, rib, the rib. I'm getting there. And again, it's got the I-cord around the sleeves as well. So when I've done down the back, I will see if I want to do the tie channel or the rib. My goodness, empty inside today. Anyway, so that is knitting up really lovely. I've just got to go down the back. I'm really enjoying that. I'm also enjoying working on a worsted weight yarn and 4.5mm needles. I don't think that will be too much longer, and I do like a slipover. Sorry I'm not in any knitwear today. It is a bank holiday. Oh no, the Saturday isn't bank holiday, but yesterday was Good Friday, tomorrow is Easter Sunday, and then we have Easter Monday, and I am just relaxing. So I know in my little project basket there, where I make up projects into bags so they're all ready to get and go, they have the yarn and the pattern all together. There is a couple more sweaters in there. I have the one that I picked up from Unravel. Oh my goodness, some Bird Street yarns. And I also have the one that I got from Onling. So I have got a couple of sweaters in there. The Bird Street yarn ones, and I've forgotten the name of it. I'll just look it up because I don't like not telling you what I'm planning. Yes, it's the Lorient sweater, the beautiful autumn leaves on it. I'll put a picture in here for you. I would like that for autumn. So I'm thinking I may cast that on around May, June time. It's 4-ply, so it's not too heavy to knit through the summer. The one from Onling is a little heavier weight. I think I might leave that for later in the summer. But in the meantime, I have got out of my file. I have a file of patterns I'd like to make that I've bought. I think we all have lists on Ravelry of patterns we like. And I have some of those that have come up in a sale or something like that, and I've bought them. So they are definitely going to be maids. Now, 2 I have in my file that will need yarn for them are the 3-season cardigan, and these are by Wool and Pine. And it's a cotton blend they advise using for that, and it's a beautiful cable, almost a shorty cardigan, but it's a nice length. And because it's made in a cotton blend, I think it would be a good weight for summer, even though it is chunkier cables. You can see them on there. So that's the 3-season cardigan. And the other one, which I thought would be a nice sort of spring make, is the Cloudbreak tee, also by Wool and Pine. I bought these as a job lot a little while ago. This only came out last month, and I think she had 10% off. So I bought these a few weeks ago when they first came out, this one. And I'm looking for the yarns for these. And I have a couple more in my pack. I was waiting for another pattern to buy, and this is the one that came out last month. So in my folder of patterns I want to make, I now have the 4 of the Wool and Pine patterns. I think I have the waistcoat and another sweater, I think. So these I am actually looking for the yarn for. I think I've narrowed down, but I'm going to spend a bit of time over the bank holiday weekend whittling it down a little bit more, make my decision, put an order in, and then I can bag them up with the pattern and they can go in the project bag. But I'd like to start these as soon as I have a gap. You know, I don't like having dozens of whips on the go. Two garments is good. One that's a little bit fiddlier and one that's quite plain. And at the end, I'll come on to a little bit more of what I'm planning on doing with knitting, because I've discovered something about myself. Okay, so that is what is on my needles, and on my hooks I have very little, because I finished my Soulful Sierra blanket. Now I'll pause you a minute. I will move Clarice back and I will give you a proper look at this. Okay, I've moved Clarice back so I can show you this, and I realised I have the marker, the progress keeper there, which is for you. So at some point before I take it off of Clarice, I will move that back up there. But hopefully next time you see it, I might be finished, I hope. What I can do in a week, I don't know. I'd like to get on with some other bits as well, but anyway. So this is the Soulful Sierra blanket, and I think, not that it matters, that this is the top, and it goes down to there, and that's it on the floor. So it's a nice TV blanket. Beautiful blues, and I think this may go in my gifting box. I did go, I think I finished it a little bit shorter than they recommend, but I did do extra rows around the edge. Totally went off pieced on the edge. They just done a row of double crochets, and I've done a little bit extra anyway because I had plenty of the yarn left. Now if I get my book, in here somewhere is all the details of the yarn. Now the yarn that was used in this is the Sheppey's Colour Crafter Anti-Pilling Acrylic. It came in a kit and it is incredibly soft. It is beautifully soft, so it's great for children's knitwear or things like the blanket. And I will go through the colours with you. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 colours. Starting with the lightest, this is Verviers 2017. It is the softest green version on a cream really, but it is a green tone, green that goes with the blues. The other next one is Goes 1820. Which is very soft baby blue. And this one is Irk 1034, a brighter blue. And Amland, which is a 1725, which is a very greeny colour. Now, and this is Noak, which is 2012, very bright cerulean blue. Elfin 1722. I have a whole ball of this one left, plus this. It's a lovely pale Air Force blue. And last but not least, Alkmaar 1708, which is the slightly darker version of the Alkmaar Alphen. So show you the actual name and number there. So those are the 7 colours that made up this Soulful Sierra blanket. You could do it in a colour pattern that was in the pattern, repeated stripes, or random, and I did mine just random. But it's incredibly soft, lovely, lovely TV snuggle blanket, I think, but I think it's going to go in my gifting box. I seem to have quite a lot of blankets now. So, excuse me, I started that on the 4th of August 2024 and I finished it on the 31st of March 2026. So it's had its fair time hanging around. I'm very pleased to get that off the hook and a little bit more space, especially beside my bed. I'll put all the Colour Crafter in my DK. I don't think it is a DK actually. Let me have a look. Oh, it is, yeah. Yeah, I think it is actually a DK. So one of the yarns I'm using, oh, it might be the one I just finished, the Bust the Blues blanket was an Aran. That's what it was. I knew there was something tickling in the back there. Anyway, I'm just going to check my notes. I've discovered a little bit of a problem. I didn't know I had it. It wasn't until I looked down into the corner of where I keep my project bags that are being used that I realised I've got a few project bags that I've started things in and I haven't actually done it. You call them whips? Call them whips. It seems to be I've been starting little things and not moving them on very much. I'm enjoying the garments and the bigger things. There's a few blankets I've made. As you know, blankets don't count as whips. They never have done. They never will do. They're an ongoing bit of fun, aren't they? So what did I find? I found my basket, my Kinross basket. This was one of my advents last Christmas. So it's by Wee County Yarns, and we got all these beautiful, beautiful natural colours. And I have been making the Kinross cowl. I have picked it up a couple of times since New Year. Last time I showed you was there, and I've done a couple more repeats. So this is the cowl that I did for Advent last year, and that was as far as I got. So that is one thing that I need to be getting on with. I won't be wearing it this end of the year, of course, but it would be nice to finish it. Mainly because I want these yarns to make my Harold Fatmas with. And he's waiting in the wings as well. So that was the first thing that was in my basket of, or corner of shame, my basket of smaller things that need making. This is another bag. This is a Stitch by Mrs. D, one of her velvet bags. There's a monogram in there. And this is one of the Blue Fern Yarns sock sets. And I've forgotten which is the name of this sock set. I only got about 3 or 4. I think it was November, December and January. No, October, November, December, something like that. I can't remember the name of it. But on this one is my car knit. And I haven't picked it up much. But I'm knitting a sock tube. I will keep going until that is used up and put on a rib. Then I will cut it in half, put the toes and heels in. So that is another small make that I haven't terribly been getting on with, but I do grab it when I go in the car. Often I'll work a little bit on it, but not much. That's especially if I'm not driving, because I don't use it when I'm driving. No surprises there. Now this one, what have I got in here? This is just a little bag that I made some time ago. And I have a West Yorkshire Spinner's signature 4-ply sock yarn that comes out like that. And I've paired it with a cream. And all I've done on this one is that. So I will keep that one going, I think. I do prefer doing a toe-up sock, but as this is a commercial yarn, I will carry on, see where I get to. Not too much of a rush for them. I am getting a few socks that are starting to wear through, so I am in need of a few extra socks. So maybe I'll put that where I keep my car sock, so I'll pick up one or the other. But sometimes it's nice just to have a quick knit round, isn't it? I'll put that with that. So that's 2 socks I've got on the go. Now this one I found loose, so I have put it in my beautiful bag I was given by Faye of Faye DH Designs, Faye-Hughes. She gave it to me at Ravelry last month, no, in February, 2 months ago. And this was a sock I found just sitting with no bag. And this is a Regia colour 07707. There's no, well, there is a picture of what it's going to look like there. And that's all I've done on that. I was doing just a rib. I can't even see what the rib is there. 1, 2, 3, 4x2 rib. So I may keep that one going. I might pull that one back. I'm not too sure. Bearing in mind I am sort of in need for socks. So I have 3 socks underway, and 2 of them are at about the same length. So perhaps I will put them all together and grab the other 2 more often. I don't know why that wasn't in a sock bag. It is now. Yeah, I'm not too sure. I think because I've been doing the garment making, I'm just blanking the smaller items. Anyway, also in my redesigned Project 10 bag, I keep, or was keeping, shawl projects. I did finish a few shawls earlier in the year. But in here, which opens beautifully and flat, and it sits on your lap, and if you're working in the car on a longer journey, it's lovely. It sits on your lap flat. I did pop my double knit scarf in, which I picked up from Sakami Yarns at the Unravel in February. I haven't done too much more. There is the progress keeper from where you saw it last. So I popped it in the bag where I keep my shawls and scarves, and I literally have not opened this project bag. So that's one scarf shawl that needs working on. Another one, and naughtily there is no pattern in here, but it is the Cambo cowl. I'll put the details below because I can't remember the young lady who's designed this. But I'm using up some odd mini skeins from Advent, and it's a tube cowl that comes right the way round and joins again, and that's all I've done it. I think I've learned about myself. I'm not a huge colour work fan. Give me a cable till the cows come home is what I learnt on as a child, but colour work, I'm okay with it. I can do it. I don't have any issues with my tension or floats. It just doesn't grab me that often. Sometimes, but not often. But I'm using lots of skeins from a mini skein set, and the background yarn is Coop Socks, yeah, in Umberlight, 134 Umberlight. So that is my background colour. One of my spotlights is really in the wrong place to show you the correct colour there. That's not too bad. Anyway, so I must find the pattern for that and put it in my little project bag, otherwise I'm going to be in trouble at a later date. And the other thing that's in this bag is my Snoopy project bag, and this is by So Me. I got one of her little boxes, and in here is the Inniskillen shawl by Brenda Brayfield. Which I started not too long ago, and I started it for a reason, and I can't remember what the reason was now. Sorry, I'm getting quite a croaky voice. And this is in Madrigal Yarns Silver Sprite, which is the most beautiful colours of greens and reds, quite autumny greens and reds. and it's a knitting one, and that's as far as I've gone on that. So there is my front marker, which I'll use as a progress keeper, and I will move that up for you. So I'm not going to take this back. I am enjoying this. I just totally forgot I had it, which is a bit naughty, because it's a nice little pattern. I hope you can see that okay. Brenda Brayfield does some beautiful patterns, and now and then she does do a offer on buying a few. I've done a few of her in this patterns. This is the Inniskillen, and I've done Ross Trevor, and I think a couple others. So that was also in my shawl cowl bag, which is my redesigned 10 bag. So there is 3 projects in there. That shows how big this bag is. I have 3 sock projects, 3 cowl projects in here, and my Kinross, which I'd like to get finished because I'd like to do Harold Fatness. His pattern's waiting somewhere in my folder with all my I must make patterns. So my little problem corner, I don't like whips. I've got a few, but they're all small projects, and I was quite surprised when I gathered them up how many I have. But I have been enjoying making garments. Garments are to me more pleasurable. I can get a lot of wear out of them. I've just sorted out my wardrobe for the summer. I have cleared and put away my heavy winter ones in their bags for moth proofing over the summer, and I have also decided to move on a few of the older sweaters that I've made. They will go to charity shops, and other than that, I've got a few other projects I need to move on, or I'll start getting the brain itch when things are getting too much for me. I did do a tiny bit of sewing. I just had some scraps of fabric hanging around, so I've made some prosperity hens. Oh, that one's flown off. If you know what these are usually strung in a row, and you hang them in doorways to bring in luck. And I've just made a few of these out of some scraps I had lurking in my studio space here. So those are going to all go together on a string with bells and beads, bells at the bottom, beads in between, and they can hang somewhere. And I might even gift them to a friend of mine who may be needing a little bit of luck, because that's what they're for, really. You can look up prosperity hens and find out all about them. I think they're an Indian tradition, because hens are very valuable to the family. So that is the only sewing I've been doing. So that's about it, really. I haven't worked in my sketchbook properly yet. I just haven't had the oomph to go and sit in there very much. I've done a couple of little bits of little tiny things, but nothing big yet. So I have got a list of things I want to put in my nature journal. I just haven't got round to doing it. But it is Easter weekend, whether you celebrate or not. And of course that means there is lots of the way of spring, and I did paint some eggs. These are some ceramic eggs and some wooden eggs I bought from the local Hobbycraft. I gave them a coat of acrylic paint, and then you'll have seen, oh, I don't know if I'll put it at the front or the end. I'll put it at the end, I think. Me just giving them a little bit of the zhuzhing up. Now these wooden ones are made for on my little tree, but I may take the string off. I'm not too keen on having them with all the others from the grandchildren. I may put these in the in a bowl. They are in a bowl now. It's a ceramic bowl because I can't find a little basket bowl that I have in mind specifically for these. Just little ideas I found on Pinterest. I wanted them to be more spring than just Easter, to be honest. Hence the spring flowers, bluebells and forget-me-nots. What's that one called? Lily of the Valley. And that's about it, really. So I'll insert the pictures or the little video of me doing this. It might be at the front, it might be at the end. I don't know at this stage. I haven't started my editing, but they all look nice together. I will go and find the basket I had for them because it's a bit wider and these lay a bit flatter so you can see them a little bit more. But I thought that was a nice spring basket to go out on display. That is my entirety of creativity this week. And the times I've been out with Gwyn, it's been grey and miserable. And if I get the camera out, it just shows you grey and miserable. I'm sure you're living through it too if you're in the UK. I did say at the beginning, if you're going through Storm Dave, you're north of the Birmingham type area, then I hope it hasn't affected you or won't affect you too much. So if you are having a bank holiday as we are, have a lovely weekend. I hope your week ahead is also as nice. I hope the sun comes out soon. It is, the kids are on half term or Easter term. So I hope the sunshine comes out for them a little bit. It is a bit miserable when you got the kids at home and it's not nice weather, isn't it? So have a good week ahead. Stay safe and stay creative if you can. And I will see you all again very, very soon. Bye. Bye.